Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys hearing me loud and clear, or is there any echo going on? I'm trying to figure all these things out before I continue. I'm going to check my Wi-Fi connection too, because I don't know, it seems like my audio stream rate is kind of low. I don't know why. Seems to be okay here. Seems good. It seems good. Okay. Hi, how are you guys doing? Can you see me now? My hair's in a bit of a mess. I'm so sorry. I had a bit of a color on. I think just washed my hair today, so it's a bit. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? I look tired because I'm tired. I don't know why am I tired. I think too many things going on. Too many activities. I think I'm getting on an age where I can only handle certain amount of activities. I had new toys. New challenges. Well, not really challenges, like new toys. How you guys doing? You guys doing okay? How's a Paulette doing, Matt? How's Eleanor doing? Is that her name? I forgot her name. What's her name? No, that's not her name. Good grief, what's her name? Eleanor is by James Tyler. I remember she has an Italian name. What's her name? Oh man, I forgot. Anyway, what toys did I get? What? Drone. Drone. Student's case. Oh, why don't you take it out and play? I just did some recording with it. Maybe I have a. Hi, Mino. Hi, Dennis. How you doing, old timer? Long time no see. Yeah, I thought I took a photo of both my guitars when I was doing a session 2 nights ago. Yeah, it was fun. I think I probably have it on Facebook, I'm mistaken. Let me see here. There you go. Yeah. So this was just like 2 nights ago. I was doing a recording guitar session for 2 songs, and I used both this guitar. Well, the Paulette more on the first song because it called for the P90 kind of sound and the sweetness of the Paulette. And then for both songs, I had like the James Tyler playing parts that would stand out a little bit more, basically. Oh, that's beautiful, right? We're droning on. Oh yeah, I'll be droning on and on and on. Fabiano, ciao. You're Italian, I presume. Or no? Maybe I'm. Oh, from Brazil. Hola. Okay, so you're from Brazil. Brazil is not Spanish. It's Portuguese, isn't it? I don't know. What? Pardon me for my ignorance, Fabiano. Uh, what do they speak in Brazil? Portuguese or Spanish? Mino, out of all PRS guitar that you play, which one is your favorite? My favorite would be, I guess, the one that I cap, the PRS Custom 22. Yeah, yeah. And there's another one that I like. Um, God, I can't remember for the life of me right now. Portuguese. Okay, okay. See, thank you. Oh, thank you, Dennis. You should get one. You should get one. It's pretty cheap. I mean, it's well, not cheap, but it's pretty affordable. You get one, and you had a big area around you. And I think that is the drone I was talking about that I was using was really small. It's about 138 or 139 grams. So I guess it's permissible in most areas. Yeah. If I had to choose just one, uh, good lordy, I don't know, man. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my all-time favorite guitar to arrive. Uh, come October, which happens to be my birthday month. Um, and I got myself a really nice guitar. You guys should probably know what I'm getting. And I will tell you where that guitar comes. See if that is the guitar of all guitars. But as it is right now, I have a couple. I can't really say this is the absolute favorite. This is my absolute favorite. I can't really say that because I used to think that the Music Man Luke, which I own, it's my ultimate favorite guitar until the rest of the guitars came along, like She and James Tyler and what's that? Paoletti, especially. It's like you get all sidetracked, and that's what I meant when I'm saying I'm distracted these days because it's like there's so many things to dwell upon. So I guess my ultimate favorite guitar right now would be the guitar that I'm touring with right now, the She Angelina. I love it. I've done like 3 shows with it. I'm gonna do like another 6 more, maybe 7, yeah, 6 more, and then yeah, the She and the She Angelina and Guinevere, yeah, these 2 are really up there. So am I James Tyler. So I can't tell you like one, just one guitar. Venus World, good evening. Good evening. Uh, where you from, Frank? Achille? Better than a Paoletti? Like I said, every guitar has its own advantages and pros and cons. Basically, the Paoletti is just a great guitar that I didn't want to tour with because I didn't want to damage it. Like during the tour, like 101 things can happen. And even though Paoletti is kind of a hardy looking guitar, because it's chambered and everything, and I just love the guitar to bits. I didn't want to damage it, and that's the reason why I didn't tour of it. Uh, the She guitar that I have, I have 3 guitars from She. Ray is so kind to make me 3 signature guitars. So basically, I have the Lear, which is like the bacon guitar that you all saw, and then Guinevere and Angelina. The Lear, I didn't want to tour with that too because it's just too beautiful to tour with. I told Ray that I wanted a hardy guitar that I could bash my way around and do all sorts of crazy stuff on stage, and that's where Guinevere came about. And I loved Guinevere for what it does. Its colors and everything. It looks great on stage. But then I wanted something to be a little bit darker when winter sets in, and that's why I had the idea of Angelina. And Angelina, man, wow, she is something. I mean, she just sounds so right for certain songs. Again, not every song is suited for the guitars that I brought, especially the genres that I'm playing. So I think the Guinevere and Angelina just fits this tour that I'm doing up to a T. And of course, the James Tyler would just be able to do all these things, effortlessly, as well as a Paul Eddy. It's just that, because it's like, I didn't want to, like, damage it, so I didn't want to try it. Same thing goes for the James Tyler. I didn't tour with James Tyler because I like the guitar a lot, and I plan to use it for a long time. Um, but what was I about to say? Oh yeah, and I'm going up to Vegas soon on the 28th of November, for a show that I'm doing on the 30th of November in Vegas in the Venetian, and I've asked them to get me Tyler guitars. Basically HSS, any Tyler, Burning Water, whatever you have there, and I'm fine with it. String it up with 010s, and I'm good to go. And I'm not even carrying up my Helix. I asked them to to procure for me a Helix, and all I need to do is bring my laptop, load in my presets, and yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll basically. I've got 3 drones, but I have trouble controlling with phone, and mine required phone for video. Sometimes touch screen don't respond to my touch. What sort of drones do you have? Uh, all right. Uh, Matt, would you say the Palladi is more versatile? My Palladi is versatile, but yet not so in certain areas, because if I wanted the crystal clear sound in the 80s, like what the Strat is really good for, then it struggles a little bit. But then again, it depends on how I set my amps up. Part of it is really really versatile in many areas. Just that sometimes I wanted more drive, and the humbuckers, the humbucker, the bridge humbucker, the Party is not really a high output humbucker, not like the James Tyler super pickups or the Shi bridge pickups. And that, for me, sometimes, yeah, if I wanted something to be a little bit more searing, then I'll go for the Tyler as well as the Shi. But if you want something like really sings and really real mellow, I'll reach out for the Paul all the time. And that's the reason why I did the session with the Paul, because there's a rhythm part that I really wanted to have that sound, and the Paul fit that so well, so yeah. Hans Quarter. Hello, John. Have a nice evening. Greetings from Toman country. Hello, hello. Guten Tag, guten Tag. I have a friend who just came back from Germany. Yeah, a good old friend, a close old friend. Yeah, he just got back, so he's settling himself into Singapore right now, because 25 years away, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Dennis, is your wife jealous of all these female guitarists traveling? I no, I don't think so. David K, evening. Hi, David. Mino, what Palladi model do you own? I have my own signature model, John Cole signature from Palladi. They made a signature guitar for me, so I couldn't afford it, because Palladi guitars are not cheap. They're beautiful. They're works of art basically. But they're so kind to make me my own signature guitar, which that's the reason why I don't travel with it, because I cherish it. Do I have a favorite Martin guitar? I have the D35, which I own. I think that is my absolute favorite guitar from Martin. Basically because I'm a sucker for the old sound that I grew up with. With Bread, America. Some of the old studio albums in the 80s. All recorded with D35s. Glenn Campbell uses a D35, and I just like that the bell-like quality of the D35 when I'm doing, like, finger picking, or when I'm doing pick arpeggios and stuff like that. It just rings like a bell. I can't explain it. It's probably because of the 3-piece rosewood back. I don't know, a combination of all that and the thicker spruce top. But it's great for strumming too, and that's a guitar that I gravitate to, a guitar that strums and sounds great when you're strumming. I used to use, I still have my Taylor 510, which sounds beautifully when I'm strumming it, but it's a bit lacking when I'm doing like finger picking. But when I'm strumming it, it just sounds good because it's a concert size guitar. But the D35 has that projection when I'm doing finger picking if I want to, or arpeggios with pick, and yet sounds great when I'm strumming. So it's really, really, the guitar for me, basically. Are secondhand guitars better than new guitars? No. It depends on your budget. I think secondhand or pre-used guitars are mainly for guys who couldn't afford the brand new guitar. Like a brand new James Sider would set you back like, I don't know, like 9,000 US or 8,000 US. Pre-owned would set you back maybe a quarter off. Sometimes if it's really old, and if the guy is desperate in selling it, half off. So it depends. It depends. I rather not buy a second-hand guitar if I'm able to. I bought a second-hand Les Paul myself. I have a Les Paul Classic, which I absolutely adore. It's a great sounding guitar, great feel to it, but it's pre-owned and it's been, heavily used. There are a couple of stuff been chipped off. Some of the finish has been chipped off, but it plays well. Plays great, sounds great. So yeah. I'm after a Telecaster. Um, I have many guitars and don't have one of them. Oh, would you go Fender, or is there any brand that don't cost the earth that have typical Tele sound? I think you won't go wrong with a Tele from Fender. You will not go wrong with a Tele from Fender, but you gotta pay a little bit to get a real nice Telecaster. There, of course, there are other models like the GNL. GNL makes beautiful Telecasters. In case you don't know, basically because GNL is founded by Leo Fender. As for the other, I think the only Telecaster that's worth checking out in terms of the budget would be from Edwards, from Japan. They make really nice Telecasters, and some of the best Telecasters that I played are from Edwards. I'm talking about best Telecaster. What I meant was affordable and really good. I mean, there are like the custom shop and there are the Schroders. Those are like yeah, really expensive. So it costs a bit. But yeah, by all means, check out Atwood's from Japan. Yeah. What's that? Matt, D18, what about them? Shinichiro. Wow. Arigato. No, arigato. Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah. Hello from Japan. How do you deal with volume differences in EMG SSH layout? How do I deal with it? Like most guitars, the height will play a part. So if they're all like active pickups, you probably adjust them according to how exactly how you do with passive pickups. Like if the bridge is too loud, lower down the pickup a little bit in terms of the height. And if once you get the balance roughly around there, you cannot get it all precise, And then it's just a matter of your hands, basically, how hard you play. That plays a part, and your volume knob. And if you're not utilizing or using a volume pedal, then if you are using a volume pedal, that will give you even more control. I think not all my guitars, not all of them are like balanced well. I think one or two guitars are not really balanced well, but for me it didn't make any difference because I was playing with a volume pedal on stage. But I try to balance my guitars, especially the Shui, since I'm touring with them, as much as I can. But I'm not really too anal about it. I'm not too detailed about it. So because I have a volume pedal, yeah. But yeah, So treat it like a passive pickup. So if the neck is too loud, lower down the neck pickup just a little bit and just experiment. Yeah. Dennis, I played probably 100 D28s before I found the right one. When I picked it up and strum it, I knew it was the one. I wish we could be like, we could make friends or get wives like that, strum a little, but definitely not after 100 of them. Well, the questions keep on coming in, which is good. Keep them coming in. I will answer if I can. If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free to buy me a coffee. What's this? Someone just asked me a question over here. Oh, okay. It's for a Singaporean who asked me about whether I'm able to use this in parks and all that. The drone that I was using when I was in China. Oh, definitely the Paul Eddy is great. Paul Eddy's workmanship is on par to any custom shop guitars. Basically, I've been to the factory. I've seen how they do it, and you and me, we own one. We should know, unless you don't own a Fender guitar. But the quality is way up there. Yeah. Milo, how do you also like nylon string guitars? I haven't, and I feel like I might need someday. Watching and classical. Oh, yeah, I love nylon string guitars. I used to own a Ibanez, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't use them a lot. I have a Godin, Godin made in Canada, nylon string which I used live on stage. It's under the bed somewhere. It's not being utilized for years. I have a Taylor right now, which was passed down to me from Eric, my brother, who I'm touring with. He's not using it anymore, and that's a nice nylon guitar with a cutaway. And I use that if I need a nylon guitar part because it stays in tune. Nylon guitars are so notorious for not staying in tune, especially the intonation, and especially in where I stay, humid and everything. The bridge will float up and stuff. The neck will warp, and sometimes the neck will twist. If you have a traditional nylon guitar without any truss rod without any truss rod adjustments, you're basically you're you know what I mean. And the modern ones are a little bit better. I tried the Martin ones, and they are really good. Just that I just found that the sound is not too nylonish. You know what I mean? So far, the best nylon guitars I've heard and played with are from Yamaha, but those are the made in Japan ones. So those are really expensive, but those are really, really, really good sounding nylon guitars. Dominic Clausen, Dominic Clausen. Yeah. Hi John, my friend. Is there any new music coming? Maybe an instrumental album? Dude, I don't know, man. I've been asked this like 4 years ago, and I've been putting it off time after time. I was supposed to start one back in 2020, but didn't get around to it because the channel kind of like pulled me away from a lot of stuff, and there were a lot of stuff happening to me personally. And then last year, I guess I was like, I don't know what I was doing last year. Time passes by so fast, and basically this year I'm touring the whole year. We'll end my show probably somewhere in 27th of December this year. Yeah, and then I'll start a new tour next year, come probably April or May. So the touring really do take a big chunk of my time because of the traveling, basically. As you might notice, I am not coming out too much content because of the touring, of the tours. Mine has a unique sound. The white gray on the top gives it a much mellow sound. Yeah. Never played an nylon string guitar? You should try one. It's easy. John's next album will be platinum. Then he'll be driving one of those sports cars all the time. I'll probably fly my own jet. Yeah, right. Yeah, nowadays, if you come on an album, ain't no way you're gonna have it go platinum like that, unless you're like, Taylor Swift or something like that. There's no way for independent artists to make it these days. We have a wonderful, robust conversation about this. The last live stream that I did. Yeah, quite interesting. Some of the points of views. So the drone that I was using was this. Now, this is not sponsored. I paid for this myself. DJI didn't pass this to me for anything. This is from City Music. I bought it from City Music. This is the DJI Neo. Right. So this is the combo set that I got. Basically, it comes with 3 packages inside. So I'm gonna take them all out. Pretty easy, pretty a no-brainer. First off, and that's about it, right? So this is a casing, which I travel with this. I ordered a bag for this drone, but it's not here yet. So basically, you have the drone, which is so cute, right? Yeah, this is a protective cover for the lens, which is inside the camera lens. So all you need to do is take this out, and you have, yeah, can you see that? You can see the camera lens, right? And if you're not using it, you just pop it back, and at least there's some protection for the lens, right? And the propellers, they are all like covered with guards so that it won't hurt anyone, and the propellers won't get like tangled up or crushed. In any case, they provide 2 spare propellers for any emergencies or any accidents. And to turn on the drone is really easy. Press right. That's the button here. Just press once really quiet, and the second time a bit longer. One long. Right, and the drone is on. Right, it's starting up. Right. So this drone is on standby, ready to fly anytime. And basically that's it. If you turn it off once and one more long, and then you just turn off, and then the blinking will go on. So this universal command is universal in all DJI drones, whether you're flying the Mavic Pro or the Mavic 3 or the Mavic Air or whatever. It's the same universal command. Once and one long. One shot, one long, and to turn on the drone. And the thing with this drone is that you have like a couple of modes. Let me just show you. Right, you can choose between different modes. You have droning. So this is where the drone will face you and just go back.
Fly in well lit, textured environments.
Right. You
Circle.
have circle, where it just circles around you like a vulture.
Rocket.
Rocket, where it just propels itself right up, perpendicularly all the way up to a certain height, and then you'll come down again.
Spotlight.
Spotlight is where it just remains stationary facing you. So it's just like a sort of a tripod camera, like fixed onto you. Helix. Okay, so this is the custom, where you can kind of like dictate how you want the drone to fly around you. Basically taking, it's like a circle thing. How you want to. It's all pre-programmed, so these are all programmed flight paths, and then that's about it. And the best one that you see me use all the time, follow, where it follows me behind, and it's pretty intelligent because it has a great AI going on inside. So it locks onto me. You have to, like, when you turn on, and when you want to fly this, all you need to do is to press this button here for a long press, and then it says ready to take off, and you count off 1, 2, 3, and then it'll take off. But you have to have it in such a way where the camera is looking at you, so not looking at your back, just looking at your face, so that it recognizes you, and then you will just take off by itself automatically. And as you walk, the drone will follow you, right? So Yeah, I mean it does. It does follow, but I haven't tried it physically yet because I haven't got myself to pumping up the tires in my bike. I was meaning to go for a bike ride, maybe tomorrow I think. But it doesn't work at night because I don't think you will have good footage at night. I don't know. I have to try it. So I've walked around in my neighborhood and it looks okay in daylight. So I was thinking of planning a ride in the late evening or late afternoon, but the problem I'm facing is that I might encounter a lot of people. So when you're flying drones like this, you gotta be really be aware of people around you because you don't want to get on their nerves because it's quite loud. The sound of these propellers are really loud. So there are also areas that you cannot fly. I've flown this in the place that I was at the last show that we did. Really nice holiday resort, and there were a couple of places that I couldn't even take off because it's just a restricted uh, zone. So when it's restricted, somehow the drone would know, and it just says that it cannot take off, and there's a couple of reasons why. As I was flying around my neighborhood, I discovered that yeah, I'm able to fly around my neighborhood. Just that I have to be like really be aware of the people around me. Right. So this is like the five modes or six modes that you have. It's basically your joystickless way of flying that drone. Now it comes with this. This is a controller. It attaches. In case you guys don't know, it attaches your handphone here, and then you have basically a joystick, and there's like certain stuff that you can. There's this joystick attachment where you can just attach to your joystick to make it easier, like like this. Can you see that? Yeah. Can you see this? Yeah. So there's another one on the other side, and basically you can fly this further. Well, according to DJI, you can fly the drone for 10 km, which I doubt. Yeah, 4 or 5 km is plenty enough, which I don't think I have the the area width to fly this. Probably in China, but Anyway, there are a lot more things that you can do with the controller because there are more options. Like you could you can really fly the drone like all the way out, and there's a return home function. You have the GPS, the satellite, everything going on, and the most important thing are the camera controls. So if you're taking photos, there's a left and right where you can take photos or start a video. You can control the camera by adjusting here, where the camera will just go down to wherever angle you want. So you can have really nice, if the drone is flying this way or any other way, you can have really nice footage. Um, so it's more for photography or for movies, like short clips, short video clips. But I find it more enjoyable to fly with the controller because you can see your drone so far away, and then you're not afraid of it like getting lost. Because I've flown this little boy um, in the midst of a typhoon, right? But not the onset of a typhoon, but the typhoon was coming in, so the winds were pretty strong, and I flew it after the typhoon, after the typhoon has blown away, and there was still a bit of wind, but I flew it for a long distance, and it was fun. It was fun to see it fly, and sometimes I couldn't even see it at all. I just have to depend on my mobile and the screen and know where I am. And if I get scared or panicked, I just hit the return home, and it will come back to me. Yeah. So basically, right. So the combo set consists of the drone and the controller, as well as this pack, which I think is so good. This is the battery pack or charger. Basically, it comes in with 2 additional batteries. So here's a battery. So the whole pack consists of 3, and you can charge all of them by USB cable all at once. right? So the old charger, like the ones that I have for my Mavic Pro 2 or Mavic 2 Pro, it charges one by one. Like, you know, you have three batteries there. Battery A will charge first, and when it's full, then battery B. Not this baby. It just charges all three at the get go. So I think that's so cool. And then you have, like, you know, cables for your attachment to your controller, as well as the USB for the charging. And that's about it. Very simple, right? So great for traveling, because I could pack all this in a little box like that, put it in my suitcase. Be aware that if you're if you're flying, right, take out all the batteries and put it in your carry-on bag. I mean, in your knapsack or whatever, so that, you know, the custom wouldn't ask you to come back and open the luggage because they found batteries inside. So there's something to be aware of, because I had this experience in China when I was flying home with this. Going up there was easy, but coming back, you know, they are pretty strict. So they asked me about the batteries that I have in my suitcase, and I told them it's for drones. And they said, "Oh, it's cool. You can leave the batteries in the drone, but take out the spare batteries, because, you know, they don't allow it, basically." And I'm going like, well, why can't? I can leave the battery. I didn't want to argue, so I made it a point right now to take off all the batteries from my drones, whether they're in the drones or not, and put it in my knapsack. So it's way easier, right? So the case is really cool because they have all these compartments. You know, I put in my remote. You know, everything has a back to it if you want to be like, you know, really careful with everything and just put it in a bag. So I'm really careful with my drones. And in Singapore, I don't need to have a license for this. Like I had to get a license or a registration sticker for the Mavic 2 Pro, because it's more than certain amount of weight. And yeah, so I can actually fly this anywhere you are, if there's no restriction, you know, at all in the area. And that's it. One small package like this, and you just packed it into your suitcase. I'll probably be carrying this box around for a long time, because I don't think the case that I bought is it probably be like bigger than this, but it offers a little bit more cushion, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so this is it. Questions. What price are they going for? Real cheap. Now, okay, the drone itself, it's about what, $200? Let me check the price for you. David, you're in the UK, are you? Okay, so let me see now. So in the UK, so it's about 185 for the unit by itself, USD 185. For the combo is 325, which is a little bit more expensive, a little bit more than what I got over here. So I paid like 430 something, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's about the same, given the conversion rate. Hi, Cowboy from Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. All right, so I don't know. You got to convert this into British pound, I believe. So I don't have the British pricing. You can always Google it, I believe. Yeah. Wait, I have one here. So DJI Neo for 171 pounds. The combo will go for 307 pounds. Yeah, basically that's the price, give or take. Hmm. Yeah. Metsi, John, can I ask how would you make learning guitar fun rather than repetitive? Repetitive. Repetitive. I think the mistake that we all make when we are trying to master the instrument is to, like, on and on, going through scales or going through certain licks, and learning it, which is good because it trains up your muscle memory, and play it long enough, you're gonna get it right. But I believe that is after a while. I believe that was not the right way to do it. I believe the right way to do is to play to wherever you learn with a music backing track or a song that you love, for example. And that's why Hotel California was really popular at one time among guitarists, because they can actually play with the band, which I did. I learned the solos from Hotel California, both Don Felder and Joe Walsh's parts, when I was playing with the vinyl, and I was like, jamming along and trying to mimic the way they phrased those lines. And from that solo itself, from that song itself, I learned a whole bunch of stuff. And you have to realize that every time you learn a solo of a recording or anything, there must be certain things that you derive from there, in terms of little licks and little feels and little touches, and all those must be stored in your memory bank behind you, so that you can call them up anytime you want when you're called to do a solo by yourself, a original solo. So it doesn't have to be repetitive. It doesn't have to. Make it fun, like, the most fun way I can think of is to play with a piece of music. And whatever you learn on a scale, like, you could be learning on the Dorian scale, for example. Try to duplicate that in a jam by yourself, and see where it takes you. And if you make mistakes, so be it. What the heck, we all make mistakes. So don't be like, I made a mistake. I'm a no good feller. I'm a failure. No, no, no. Every one of us made mistakes. I've seen the great ones make mistakes. So in a performance, so what more on your in your little room by yourself. So feel free to do this. This is why I tell my students, don't get caught up in skills and the cage system and all that. It doesn't help you musically, because you don't know what is it like to apply what you learn on a piece of music. Okay, I hope that helps. Uh, Dominic, when you started learning guitar, how was your training routine? I started 3 years ago and have so many more to learn. I don't have a training routine because I wasn't taught. I was self-taught. Basically, it's my sheer love of music that just pushed me through everything. Like, if I like a piece of music that I hear, I would go out and buy the album. I love the Eagles because the Eagles songs have many wonderful guitar parts. I love Journey, I love Toto, but it's the earlier ones, like, the Uriah Heep, Deep Purple. Those days they have even Scorpion. They have really nice guitar solos, and I found it to be really complicated and complex. So I just love listening to them, and they influenced me a whole lot. But um, and if I really do dig a song that much, or if I have to, like, play a song for the band, for example, when I started playing professionally, we have a band, and I was in a band, and we had to do covers. So if I had to learn a song, then I would go and learn the song, you know, um, as it is, like Gary Moore, Steve Stephen on Rebel Yell, and all these I have to, like, learn by heart, and all those lovely, lovely Journey song, like, Faithfully and stuff like that, and Bon Jovi. And once I get into it, I learn all these solos, and yet I kind of, like, inherited the solos. So little things I'll pick up and I'll keep it into my memory bank. So that's how I I kind of like do my training routine. So the fact is, I don't actually sit down and noodle and and do skills. I don't do that. I just play along with a piece of music. That's what I've been doing all this time. Since I was like 20, 22. No, since I was 18 until now. So that's what I've been doing. I don't like sit down because I can't read. Nobody taught me how to read. I learned how to read in the studio, but not as fast as I would wish to be. Um, but then what I lack, I make up in a pretty good set, a pretty good pair of years, so I could hear once and probably like learn and know what these solos are about. I can kind of wing it in a way that is original. Yeah. So this is why the producers always ask me for to play on their albums. Yeah. Um, I don't know why they didn't put a switch in hand control to turn on camera, but mine will return to controller when battery starts getting low. I don't understand a word you say. What do you mean? Why they put a switch in hand control? You have a hand control. Isn't your hand control the controller? John's drone get caught up in typhoon all the way to Singapore. He hits home button and it lands on his doorstep. I play along with records, just pretend. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what Dennis does. That's what I do. Especially in the night when everybody's in bed. I put on my headphones, and I'm talking like when I was when I was 19 or 18 years old. I'll put on my trusted old headphones, and my dad will be in bed, and I will be like in the living room, and I'll be like playing with the Eagles, with Journey or whoever, and to like really late, like 3 a.m. in the morning. So I've always been doing that. Yeah. Hi, Johnny. David K. Any thoughts on the recent news of a Oasis reunion? Luckily, I managed to get tickets at face value. Being from the UK and growing up with them, they were a large part of my youth. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the Oasis, although I love the music. So if they are getting reunited, great. As long as they are not like they don't end up like Jane's Addiction, which is really bad. Depends on how you define overrated. I think they were a band on the generation, much like any other bands in Just As Simple. But a lot of people, I do like them. I'm not really a fan, but I do like them. Matt, John, I genuinely didn't think you could be self-taught when learning guitars. I'm taking lessons with a music teacher. You didn't think that I could be self-taught? Oh yeah. Like I said, the love of music just pushed me along all these years. I'll buy little books, and I'll learn how to sing the songs. And I think one of the reasons is because I love singing. And I will learn guitar just because I can accompany myself when I'm singing. And I love the old John Denver songs. I love the old America songs, and I just love to play and sing. And that's just the reason why I started playing guitar. But as I grew older, there was a need to play lead guitar, so I stepped in and tried to learn some of the lines, and I was really bad at it. I don't know whether I did ever tell you what happened to me. If you guys want to hear what was the changing point, let me know, and I'll tell you right now. Yeah, happened a long time ago. But you know what? I don't really care whether you want to hear it. I'm going to tell it to you anyway. But in order to tell you the story of how I am at a crossroad and kind of turn. I have to show you some pictures so that you guys would have the right context. Um, oh, it took me a long time. Long time, Matt. David, I'm self-taught. Never had a guitar or singing lesson. Being self-taught is a lot easier now than when it started because back in the 90s and 80s, early, it was all music or tap books. And yeah, I didn't even have all that. In a way, but sometimes I do regret not having a teacher or not going to school. I was dreaming of going to GIT when I started playing the bands, but I just couldn't afford it. It's too expensive, and I had to forego that because my father was ailing at the time. And anyway, it's another story for another day. So back in the days, this is me. I think a little bit overblown. Yeah. Anyway, this was me in my teens. We were like 19 years old, I guess. Yeah. This was my band. Yeah. That's me on here. Can't see my face because it's kind of overblown. Anyway, I was so young. I was like 17, 18 before we went into the army. And we four of us, we kind of like imagine ourselves to be like in a band, And I was playing lead guitar. My friend Mike was playing second guitar, and we were trying to jam and trying to do all the songs that we love, from Deep Purple and all that. And then one day, my drummer, asked his brother, a bar. I think I told this story before once, a long time ago. A bartender. He was working as a bartender. He was pretty young. He was like 34, 35, but older than us. Way older than us. So he came in and played the organ. And so I was like trying to do the Hotel California solo. And I knew I suck at it, but we're having a time of our life. Like, we're in the studio, we paid for the studio, so might as well just, kind of have a go at it. So I was trying to do the Hotel California solo. And we finished, and we went out for a smoke. I didn't smoke back then. All of them did, I guess. Some of them did. And this drummer's brother came over to me and very eloquently said that was the worst solo I ever heard in my life, period. Okay, I repeat that again. That was the worst guitar solo that I ever heard in my life when you tried to play Hotel California. And I surprisingly, I didn't break down and cry or anything like that because I'm going like, what? I'm not a guitar player, but it did sting me a little bit because I do have pride after all. All of us have pride. It sting me a bit, but I thought I took it pretty well. And I said, okay, point taken. But right after that night, I went home and I started to play Hotel California again and again and again. Like, I think I probably worn out one or two needles from playing Hotel California the solo segment again and again and trying to nail it, the notes, the bends and everything, trying to do it, and my fingers were hurt because I never bent that much before, string bending. And I was just playing it over and over and over again. And mind you, I didn't have electric guitar at home. I was learning all this with my acoustic guitar. So you can imagine. And I was learning, and after about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we went to jam again, and he was there. The same, my drummer's brother, he was there. And we did the song again, and I nailed it. I nailed that solo. And he came to me after the song, and we were having a breakout session. He came to me and he kind of like he said, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the way you should do it. Well done." And I was so happy, and just a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of a honest criticism, pushed me to be what I'm doing for the rest of my life. If not for him, I'll probably still be selling centrifugal pumps or doing some of the stuff. Probably be a great salesman. Probably earning tons of money. I don't know, but what he did on that day and the day after and the 2 weeks after, it's what changed my whole entire life. And I became a consummate guitar player. I just wanted to go for a certain sound. I just want to go for a certain phrasing because I was gifted that gift by God. God gave me that gift of music, and at the same time, I have this need to. I'm not really a perfectionist in many ways, but in many ways I am. I just want to perfect a solo the best way that I can because if I don't like what I'm hearing, nobody will like what I'm playing. And so that was the driving force for me all these years, And as the years went by, as I went to join a band, the solos got crazier. Van Halen happened. I'm going, oh my good lord, how am I going to do this? I did it, but not in the way that Van Halen does it. And then Steve Vai comes along. I'm giving up guitar, and I'm going back to to selling centrifugal pumps and all these crazy players. When I first time I heard Steve Lukather, I'm going like, man, how am I going to beat this guy? This guy is so melodic. He's so articulate. He's so precise, and his solo just makes sense. And then I heard Jay Graydon. I'm going, oh man, all these great players, right? But every time I hear them, it just inspires me to be better than what I was, And I just kept on going and learning from them all the time, even today. If I hear a great guitar solo, sometimes I would I would browse around in Apple Music to look for old albums that Steve Lukather played or Jay Graydon played on, and I would discover like new solos and go, wow. And if a certain hook or a certain line struck my fancy, I would just learn the line, and it will be put into my vocabulary. That's how it is. Okay? Dennis, my guitar teacher, was nuts. I'm self-taught. John, do you still have your very first guitar? No, I don't. I have an equivalent of it tonight, right up there. You see this white thing there. That's the first electric guitar that I bought with my own money, and it was a Fender Mustang. Yeah. Legio of Doom, Hawk. You were a salesman. Oh yeah, I was a salesman for a year and a half, I guess. Yeah. Indoor salesman, engineering sales, not this. But then again, I was a salesman at a departmental store at the tender age of 17, right after school, when we were waiting, to go into the army. So I spent a bit of time selling pens, but just for like about 6 months, I guess. But I was an indoor engineering sales man. I was selling I was like dealing, not selling, dealing with centrifugal pumps. Yeah. Matt, John, to be a good guitarist, is it a God-given gift or is it a natural ability to understand? I think it's a combination of both. Very much so, a combination of both, because you need to be able to depict what you're feeling inside you and translate it out musically. So there is a sort of a thing. This is a sort of thing that you can possibly pick up by going to school or learning. I've seen guys who can't read, to save their life, but when they play, I'm going, wow. Yeah, and there are guys who read and plays beautifully. But then I've seen guys who read and don't play good. I've seen guys who don't read and don't play good. So it's a combination of all. But perseverance is something that I always respect in a musician, because I've seen guys who improve through the years because of their ability to pull through the love of music, and they just want to go for it. So I've seen this in some of my students, not all of them. And I think in each and every one of us, there's this basic need to play music, because I just found out in one of the small videos that you see these days in either in TikTok or somewhere else, that music actually does a whole lot of good to you psychologically as well as physically. I believe endorphin, like the drug that your body produces when you're exercising. Yeah, it music, when you're hearing good music that makes you feel good, there's endorphin in your body, and it makes you feel good. So your body recognizes good music. Yeah, So when you're hearing good music, your body starts to move, and this is good music. And I'm a testament of that because I hear music every day, every chance I get. Especially when I travel, I hear a whole lot of music. I put on music on my airports when I travel on the plane. Sometimes I sleep. I'll have my iPad playing music real softly in the background. So and certain music just strikes a chord in me, and I just feel good. So I think there's a basic need in all of us humans to create music, and I think there's also a basic need for us to be a blessing for others. To be a blessing to others. So by making music, you're not only blessing yourself with that joy, but you are also making joy for other people. That's what I think. Anyway, Michael MC. Hi John, seeing some nice prices on the Schecter Sun Valley Exotic Cicote top. Yes, I am. Still am. It's a great looking guitar. I wish I had my first electric that I bought new in Alamo Music Store in San Antonio. Let me pronounce it the right way. San Antonio, Texas, before they were used. Wow. Well, that's nice. What guitar is that? Anyway, Leisure of Doom. Hi John, have you seen the recent guitarist collaboration video? I think you should be in it. Where? For Singapore or for Singapore or for where are you from, Leisure? Are you from Singapore? Jim Simon, hey, how are you? From Detroit. Hope everyone is doing well. Hi Jim, how you doing? How important is music in making music make you feel? It's my life, basically, Matt. I've been like living with music since I was young. I mean, I grew up with music in my entire life. I never encountered a day, well, maybe in the army when when I'm out on exercise where I don't hear music, but music is a big part of my life. Ever since I am able to remember as a child. My father loved music, you have music playing every time. My mom too, she loves music. And my earliest recollection of when I was a baby, I would come back from kindergarten. I mean, that's not being a baby, but that's my earliest recollection as a baby is when I started walking towards a piece of food. that's my earliest recollection. And I remember my uncle saying, "Come, walk over here." And I can remember stumbling my way to him, and that was the earliest memory I had. The next memory that I really have that is so vivid was when I came back from kindergarten. I must have been like 5 or 4, I guess, and I would be drinking milk back then. I was still drinking milk, and I would touch the floor because I love to touch the floor because of the dust on the floor. And I love the fine velvety feel of dust on the floor. And I'll be drinking my milk, and music will be playing in the background, and it will always be South Pacific. All right, remember the musical South Pacific? Body high, they know you. Songs like this. There is nothing like a dame, or Sound of Music, or whatever. My dad was a fan of musicals, and he would love all those Hollywood big musicals, and he would buy the albums and he would play in the house. And my mom loves them too, and that's why I'm hearing it after school. And I've grown up with all this music, and then 60s, the Beatles came along, and then right after that, when I went to school, the rock groups started coming, like Grand Funk Railroad. I remember the first time when I heard "We Are an American Band" by Grand Funk Railroad, I was going like, whoa, what a drum riff, with a cowbell. And that really blew my mind. And then came Uriah Heep, and then Deep Purple, and later on Peter Frampton, Eric Clapton, and the rest of them. I missed out Jimi Hendrix, because back in Singapore it wasn't that popular, I guess. It was popular among guitar players, but I wasn't a guitar player then. I loved Led Zeppelin right after that, just before John Bonham passed away, which was such a shame because I loved that group to death, you know. And yeah, and on it goes, you know. So yeah. What, and who was the inspiration to want to learn and play guitar? John Denver. Yeah, John Denver and Glenn Campbell. These two were my earliest influence when it comes to singing and playing guitar. I wanted to write songs like John Denver did. I wanted to sing like Glenn Campbell. Glenn Campbell has a range that to today is still phenomenal, you know. And John Denver's songwriting is like really up there. His guitar playing was really good. And then came Dan Fogelberg, you know, but that was later on. But John Denver and Glenn Campbell, they were, yeah, my earliest influence. And Glenn Campbell plays a mean guitar, plays a mean lead guitar. Yeah. Yeah, so Alamo has a YouTube channel. I've seen some of their stuff. Well, if I do go down to Texas, I would like to visit them. This seems like nice. They seem like nice folks, you know. So it'd be great. You have a white strap with a blue sparkle. Oh, nice. Wow. Anyway, so I got this from Clement before I left for China, and I was supposed to do a review of this, but because of my work, because I was doing sessions and all that, so I wasn't able to do it last week when I came back. I'm supposed to do it this week, this coming week. So I'm leaving on Thursday, so I'll probably get this video out before I leave. So this is a Japan-made. So nice, isn't it? This is a Mustang, and it has the racing colors stripe. Yeah, it even has the old headstock, the big ones. I have a Mustang that looked almost like this, even with the switches and everything, but it was like bare wood. And this is nice. It has a tremolo system. Yeah. Cool. It's all white. The condition is immaculate. This guy really took care of the guitar. There's still a plastic wrap on the pickguard. Let's just play a little bit. Hear how it sounds like. Let's tune it up first. Oh, 09s. So this tremolo system, if I recall correctly, I didn't use the tremolo bar at all when I had my Fender Mustang, because it's really wonky and yeah, kind of hard to use. Insuka, really? So this is yours, all right? So thank God that you reminded me. I was about to say something like, you know, who would play 09s? It's okay. Why do you trade it in? love the guitar. I would, string him as 010s. It probably sounds way better. Stays in tune better, I guess. But we'll see. Let's hear how it sounds like. Tuning one so much. Just love these knobs. These are like really heavy industry knobs. What is what? What's this? No, it doesn't work. Okay, let's do the tempo down a bit. Tap tempo. Okay. Alright, sounds good. Wait a second, guys. Whoa. Okay, this guitar needs to be like really pulled. I might change this to 010s if I want to do a proper review of this. Yeah. What'd you say? Inzuka. Yeah, weak fingers. You were consolidating your collection and traded a Mustang to get a few others for a standard classic. Good choice. You should try out the Outface. Yeah, it didn't. It's okay. It. Oh my. I didn't know which button to push, so I just pushed them. Okay. It's so funny. Didn't know the owner of this guitar was here in the stream. Or rather the previous owner. Okay. Let's see, so. So a little bit more, I'm almost there. Okay, let's redo this again. Right, so. Yeah, definitely I have to change to 010s because you know why this is a short scale guitar and having 09s on this is like all over the place. So I'll ask Clement first and then Probably have to change the zero tense. Then it would play to the right tension. This is like what 25, if you're not mistaken, or maybe less than 25. And putting zero tenths on zero ninths on a 25 is yeah, be crazy. Let me just check with the specs. In a second. Well, unless you got the specs there. Yeah, 25, right? So this is just like the PRS. So just like the Xu. I can't imagine myself playing a 09s on the Xu guitar, let alone this. And that's why, yeah. Okay. 24, oh, good lord, 24.5. It's even shorter still. So, yeah, definitely a no-no for 09s. And probably that's why you're not, maybe you don't like the feel of this in Inuzuka. If you change this to 010s or 011s, you might like it. I don't know. Yeah. Each switch controls where if you push the switch forward, you will engage the pickup. Forward. Okay. I'll play around a bit. It's been a long time. Yeah. Basswood body, maple neck, rosewood fretboard. Really nice, really nice. I like the feel of it. Just I didn't like the feel of the gauge of the strings. It just makes me play in a real uncontrolled way. Nice. Looking forward to review this guitar. Nice. My Xu is back actually. For now, oh matter. I didn't actually plan to do much playing tonight. Yeah. Thank you, Inuzuka. Thank you so much. It's so uncanny that I get to meet, or rather, have the previous owner coming into the live stream. Sure. So I spent yesterday registering, doing the registration for my Mavic 2 Pro. Because in Singapore you need to register your drone if it's above 250 grams, if I'm not mistaken. So I had to register my drone. But I don't even know where to fly it because they're like designated place in Singapore because Singapore is so small. But I'm looking forward to flying that drone because that drone is a killer drone, and it was gifted to me by my godson Caleb. So it was like almost 2 years ago when he passed me this drone. I didn't have a chance to fly it or to try it, and I spent the whole day updating the firmware for both the plane as well as the controller, and it looks pretty interesting. It's got a Hasselblad camera on it. Definitely would take like really great footage. So can't wait to try it. Maybe in Malaysia if I can. In China it would be a bit of a tricky because like I said, China is really strict on flying drones, especially without permission. But you can fly them, but you gotta go for like places where you're allowed to. And I'm heading off on Thursday for 3 shows, or alternate days, and I'm going to places where further up north where the temperature will drop, which I enjoy. I always like cold weather rather than hot. So there are 3 places that I've never been to, and then my last stop will be in Fujian, which is South China, and after that I will come home. Yeah. So right after that, I will probably have some more guitars reviews coming up. So yeah, then we will get to meet more. I mean, you get to see me more on YouTube. But so far, we just done our 14th show, and this will be our 15, 16, 17, and then I have three more in December in China, not counting the one that I have in Vegas, and another one I guess in the States in January, which is not confirmed yet. So my tickets have been booked for Vegas, from Singapore to San Francisco, and from San Francisco to Vegas. So this is what I have going on this year. Apart from the reviews, I'm gonna do. Um, so far the tour has been really been fun. I have to share with you certain things about being a touring musician if you guys are interested. So I think the one thing that musicians of my age would really appreciate if when you go on tour with people that you like, and better still if you tour with people that you love. When I met these guys, I only know two of them, and that's Jeff, my other guitar player, and Howard, who is the band leader. I'm the music director, so I worked with two of them for the longest time, and they're great. They're great people, really helpful and really just nice people to be with. And the other three, I met them for the first time. This when we got together, I guess in April when we rehearsed, and they are all from China, mainland Chinese. But through the shows, I've grown to love all of them. Um, this pretty little thing who plays the keyboard. Her name is Kim. She's the sweetest of them of all, sweetest one of all, and the most talented, I believe, in the whole band. She sings, she writes, she plays the keyboard, she plays the violin, and she's just talented, and it's just a joy to be with because she's so funny. Apart from being pretty, she's so funny, and she's got a weird sense of humor. She reminds me of my daughter, my eldest daughter, Callie. And then there's Norman, my bassist, who is such a fun guy to be with. Sometimes I couldn't understand a single word that he's saying because he's got the accent, the Chinese Beijing accent, which is so hard to understand, and I have a bit of a trouble trying to understand even today. So when he starts rambling on in his Beijing accent, I will go like, hey, I don't understand a single word you just said. And then there's Su Xuan, which is a drummer. He's young. He's really young, inexperienced when we first started. But through the shows, he's learned a lot more, and it's coming down, I guess, in October, somewhere in the middle of October, to just learn from the great drummers in Singapore. So I have Tony and probably Jimmy who would sit down with him and share some experiences and some tips, and I'm glad that he's willing to come down and to watch Jimmy do a recording session with me come 16th of October in Singapore, which I will probably feature a little bit of it on a video if I can. So traveling with these guys, it just makes the long journey to the show and back home worth it. Every time I go up, it's about 5 hours, right? So one way. So we're talking about 10 hours per show for traveling time. It's okay. I mean, I've gotten used to the traveling regime through the years. When I was touring a whole lot, that I knew what to do, what to expect. So I know what sort of seats I'm supposed to get, and the management is so good, is so kind to arrange for me certain seatings that I wanted, and even what sort of meals that I wanted. So they're really really good, and I really appreciate them. So I didn't have to go to the airport early to book my seats. They have already done it for me. And the only thing that is a little bit tiring is the sheer size of the airports in China, because they're so huge. And after disembarking from the plane, you gotta walk a bit. I'm talking of really quite a bit to the immigration and then to claim your baggage. So that was the only Grab that I have, but I gotten used to it. And the weather, it's so hot, especially for the last few shows. It's way hotter than Singapore, which is surprisingly uh, very, very refreshing in a way, because Singapore is humid and sometimes it rains a whole lot. But in China, it doesn't really rain and it's dry. Sometimes certain areas, in certain areas, it's really more humid in Singapore, and it's like sweltering. Like I was playing an outdoor gig, like two shows before show before the last show. It was like 36 degree, but even thinking like 36 degree, that's that's nothing, but it is something for me because I never experienced 36 degree for a long time, apart from the time that I spent in Tucson, Arizona. But in China, it's like I never experienced 36 degrees before, and neither did my Helix, because my plastic covering for a screen protector kind of like crinkle, melted in many ways. So it was mind blowing, and when we come together as a band, basically me and Howard and Jeff would probably be together, as well as Norman. It's four of us. Su Xuan sometimes will have sometimes he drives over from his place to the venue, so sometimes he doesn't join us for dinners. And Kim, she likes to rest up before the show, so sometimes she doesn't join us for breakfast and stuff like that. But when we do get together, there's always laughter, it's always fun, and yeah, it's always a joy to be with them. And the couple of shows that we did earlier on, I had my godson coming up to visit us, and he drove his. I think you guys saw the picture of this stream. He drove his British Morgan Plus 4, beautiful car, and he drove it out especially for me, so that I can just kind of drive it around and see and feel what does it feel like to drive a Morgan. I never driven a Morgan before, right? And this is a left-hand drive. We drive right-hand on Singapore, but I got used to it after a while. It wasn't that hard because I used to drive a left-hand old American Jeep in the army. Great car. I mean, you're talking about analog and digital, like the analog amps and the digital amps, so they just feel different. Like the Morgan is old school. I love the way it brakes. It doesn't jerk. It just kind of like brakes evenly, real subtly. Great for wet weathers. But it's the pickup and the way the engine purrs, as you go, and the power that's behind it. And the Morgan is not heavy. It's really light compared to other cars, and because they have so much horsepower, and I forgot how many horsepower, 230 or 250, I forgot. It just it just goes like that, and it doesn't go like that, like how an electric car would do. Like you will have wonderful, crazy electric cars in China, right? But the Morgans, they're different. They just feel so good, and the handling is great too. Although you can feel every bump, on the road. Not suspension is good, but like I said, analog, right? And the whole seating area is designed in such a way that it reminds me of the cockpit of a Spitfire fighter back in World War II. Exactly the same. You feel like when you're driving, you're like in the cockpit of a Spitfire, and that's a crazy experience for me. So the last trip I was pretty distracted. I have the drone, I have the Morgan, and then I have Angelina to I had to like retweak my sound for Angelina again. It's because the last time I wasn't able to do that because it was outdoor and it was so hot. I didn't want to spend too much time on stage. This time around, I got to play around with a drone on stage, doing this round view of the band. But at the same time, I have enough time to tweak my sound correctly. So I got it tweaked in such a way where I liked it, and it took a little bit of time. And then the typhoon, that was another big distraction. So the typhoon was on its way over to where we were, but it kind of bypassed us in such a way where we had the heavy winds, we had the rain and everything, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah. So that was the last trip that I had. And as I wanted to say, That's what I wanted to say before I got so horribly distracted. Traveling with a band that play, like enjoy ourselves together, and plays well together. And that's something rare these days. And I've been in bands where I didn't like the company that I keep. I didn't particularly enjoy the company that I keep, and all of them were like doing their own stuff, and we didn't behave like a band. Although we play together well as professionals should, but I didn't enjoy all these tours that we did last time. There are a couple of shows that I really liked. Some of these big shows that I played, I liked because the band more or less behaves as a cohesive unit. We go out eating together, we go out shopping together. So I like doing that. Although sometimes I'm an old man, so sometimes I don't feel like doing it. But now these days, I just find myself getting up for breakfast just to eat with them, have coffee with them, and just talk with them. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, but it's the way it is, I guess. Hmm. So enough of myself. How are you guys doing? So now there's only 10 of you guys left, so it's easier. How are you guys doing? How are you? Are you still here, Milo? How are you doing? While I wait for your answer, I will munch on my favorite potato chip. John playing such a cool, brand new, ice encrusted guitar and wearing Arctic gear. I wish. This is so good. This is honey Dijon. Dijon. Where's everybody? You all gone to bed? That's good, Dennis. Keep it up. I would love to hear you sing. I heard you sing. I heard you sing before. John, would you recommend a nylon string guitar or a steel string acoustic with all the classical? If you were to buy a nylon string guitar, make sure that it has like truss rod, so that your neck won't go wonky through time. And there are a couple of nice nylon guitars available in the market. Like if you want to get a good nylon guitar, you can, if you want to spend a little bit, you can get a Martin, not the ones made in the U.S. The Mexican ones are really good. Martin nylon guitars made in Mexico. Oh, great cowboy. Well, summer is ending here in Colorado. Very cold and raining, snowing in my. Oh man, leaves are changing for fall. What is it like there? Rain, rain, rain. That's all we're having here. I can't wait. I can't wait really to visit Colorado. I have a cousin who stays in Colorado, and I would love to visit her. But not in the dead of winter. Probably in spring. I don't know. Average temperature around here is probably about 32, 31. Yeah. Nice. In Inuzuka, I'm doing great. Waiting for my trip to Japan in October and visiting Mushu for guitars. Wow. Have fun. Good vibes. Hey John. Hey, how are you? Last night I used the new remote mics on the Fender Deluxe Reverb. It's a great vocal combo. Really? You patch your mic through the reverb, to the Deluxe? No way. Oh, it's so good. Inuzuka, have you bought a James Tyler from Clement before? Or do you currently own a James Tyler yet? Yep. 2 years lead time. Nice. Share you something, Dennis. The last recording session that I did 2 days ago, I was playing my Paoletti with this reverb, this Fender Deluxe. I had my tremolo here set on speed about 4, I guess, and intensity about 5 or 4, roughly around that. Just a slight tremolo, and I had it patched through to my audio workstation, and from there I have my Helix effects, and I added a stereo tremolo. So there are 2 tremolos going on. So a mono tremolo going to the Helix, and then again coming out through, and it sounded great. You know, it's so different. Great effect. Yeah. The US ones are like really different. But hey, I have the Japan-made James Tyler. I love it. You know, the workmanship is really good. So good. I told myself that I would only eat the chips right after I play that guitar because I don't want all the vinegar on the fretboard. mm. I actually have I ordered a James Tyler. So yeah, I've said it, So this is what I'm expecting on October, and it's something that I wanted for a long time. And Rich Rankin was so nice. He reached out to me and we spoke for a while. Got me a real good price and made me a deal, that I cannot refuse. Basically, I'm just waiting for this guitar to arrive somewhere in mid-October, I guess. The wait time for the Japan James Tyler was so long that I canceled my order with Clement, and he was okay with it because the configuration I had is pretty different, and yeah, it's good. And it was a burning water, which is a no-brainer. It just sells. So this one that I have is a more or less like a Dan Huff thing, but in piano black. So it's something that I'm looking forward to receiving. And then I've asked Rich about, whether it's possible to take photographs of the guitar in stages, and he was so nice to send me pictures of the stages of the production of the guitar, and the bare wood, the bare neck, and the paint job. He's probably going to send me some more next week, and then I'm going to compile all of them and come out a video when I receive the guitar. So again, this guitar is not meant for traveling, although I love the travel because it's a killer looking guitar. Very easy on the eye. It's not too complicated. I love piano black guitars. I've always yearned for one. So this is right up the alley. But I just don't want to. I would love to tour with it, but I probably would not. Unless I'm playing like local gigs, in a local concert. If I'm doing a show for Eric in Singapore, I probably would use it because it's been a studio guitar with all the switches and everything for all different tones, and it's gonna come in with the standard Dan Huff configuration, with the stacks, the Seymour Duncan stacks for single coils, and the super humbucker, and you'll have the usual stuff, the neck and bridge combo, and the tone expander, and nice rosewood fretboard, gold hardware, as well as the headstock in black and gold. So something that I think I will enjoy tremendously. Yeah. Mid-October, Milo. Mid-October. Clement I just asked Clement for permission to change the strings to 010. He said, yeah, sure. So cool. He thought it was on 010s. I say no, it's on 09s. Dennis? This amp has so many things it can do, especially when you. Oh yeah, it's great with pedals. This amp is so good. Yesterday, the day before the session that I did was the first time I actually used pedals on the recording session, and love it. I love the sound that it emits. It's so sweet. It's just very different. Well, the specs are normal. They're normal. The electronics are the same as the normal Dan Huff model, right? For James Tyler, but the body shape is different because the Dan Huff is that is a different shape, a different yeah. So mine is more like a Studio Elite kind of thing, but with the Dan Huff electronics, and that's about it. And the pickguard is the same as the tortoiseshell in black. That's nice. Yep, I'm so excited. Yeah, but my wallet is gonna complain. So I've been selling a little bit of my guitars. In fact, a couple of my guitars, just to finance this guitar. And it's good because I get to clear some space. Good vibes, nice. Good vibes, cool guitar. Good vibes. Just bought my first electric guitar. Found a lefty PRS. Oh, nice. Used for 600. Decided to go for it after watching all your reviews on PRS guitars. Thank you for your. Oh, you're most welcome. Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah. Gonna get the old Epi Sheraton too with the deluxe. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Get it out and hit the tremolo. You'll love it. And I can play for hours with that. You know, I miss my old Sheraton. Yeah, I gave it away to a friend of mine. Kind of regret. Yeah, it's a great guitar. I remember I did a recording of a cover of the New Kid in Town by Eagles. You know, all this guitar parts was done with a Sheraton. It was nice. You know. Who knows? Oh yeah, I actually can. I have the opportunity to review some Epiphone guitars soon enough, and one of them could be a Sheraton. Well, we'll see. Hmm. Hmm. All right, I've got 10 more minutes. You got any questions? Ask them before I leave. Yeah. You put a lot of hours on the Sheraton with the Valve King, which sounds great. I believe so. I believe it does. Yeah, maybe I'll just take down my. Oh, what do I have here? I have a studio of mine. We just bought a James Tyler. What's that finished? Gosh, forgot the finish. Anyway, he bought a James Tyler in Bangkok. A made in Japan James Tyler with the Den Huff configuration. Yeah, cost him about 5,000 plus. I think it's brand new. It should be brand new. No, I've not seen the new Gibson Studio. Is it nice? I'm very pleased. I'm a fan of guitarists like emotional guitarists. He's that. It's got great sound, but use more expensive guitars like the Japanese. All that being said, I'm not really a fan of PRS guitars after all. I just like some guitars, not all. Ooh, I saw that crackling. Ugh. Not good. Why is it behaving like this? I guess a little bit complicated. See, that's the problem with pedals. Sometimes they'll come out with this crackling that you normally don't hear. And then when it starts, then you go like, oh, where does it come from? Oh, so grab your compartment. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Hi, cats. How you doing? Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you, girl. Oh. Okay, where what you guys doing? For myself, can you anything about that last posting to pick up? How you doing, cats? Faster. Background, I can play Neo Major, but I want to try that trick. Nice, I started 4 years ago, but now I do other things around that. I had the opportunity to do a lot of recording when I was having too much fun. The live playing was doing hindsight. You can see. I kept musicians using it. Using. Okay. Good. Great. Oh, sounds painful. Going in for shoulder replacement in 2 weeks, so a little stress, but ready to get rid of the pain. Well, let's pray for you later on, cats. Just hang around for a while. We're about to leave. I was about to leave and just have this inclination to play the guitar. Yeah, we'll pray for you. Oh, thank you so much. Right, so I'm gonna leave now. So if hey Milo, you wanna hit up Good Vibes and maybe ask for his email, and you guys can start talking about whatever you guys are talking about, which is really good. I really love you guys having side conversations without me. I think that's what makes this channel a little bit different. You know, yeah. But you may want to hit up with him and link up with him. All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave soon. It's almost 2 a.m. in the morning, so I will pray for Cats as she's about to go for a shoulder surgery. And then yeah, I'm gonna leave, so I'm gonna pray for you guys too. So just give me a second. All right, I thank you for joining me tonight. I mean, it's kind of rare for me to do live stream these days because I'm away most of the time. It was great seeing you guys, and yeah, my fellow Singaporean with the Japanese name Akira. Yeah, good to see you. Good to know you. And yeah, my cowboy from Colorado and my old timer friend from where are you from again, Dennis? In any case, I'm just gonna pray, right? So I thank you, Jesus, for tonight. I thank you for friends that I get to meet online, even though I never met them in person. But Lord, I thank you for the opportunity to be able to connect with each and every one of them. I just pray that, Lord, that you would watch over them and their families. And if they're traveling, Lord, give them journey mercy. I pray for Cats as she prepares herself for a shoulder replacement surgery in 2 weeks' time. Lord, I pray that the surgery will go well, that you will bless the hands of the surgeons. But I also pray that, Lord, that you give her comfort in her heart to know that, Lord, that you are in charge. And that, Lord, all things will go well with you around, Lord. I also pray that, Lord, that the recovery time will be short and there will be no pain. Yeah. It will be a painless recovery. This body of ours, Lord, you constructed them, you designed them You know every part of our body. So Lord, I just pray for your grace to be upon her, even as she prepares herself for the surgery and for the recovery ahead. Lord. Thank you, Lord. Again, Lord, I pray for peace to everyone here, and that they continue to make music, as was discussed earlier, that somehow music brings joy to us as humans, right down to our very core, right down to our core, to our very soul, as well as our bones. And I think Dennis can be a testament to that. He got better just by playing his guitar and singing. I just, Lord, I just pray that that the music will continuously be part of our lives, and the joy that we give to others, Lord, we also must cherish the opportunity to do that too, Lord. So thank you, Lord, for tonight again. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. Always a pleasure, Dennis. Always a pleasure. My pleasure, cats. Yeah, don't you worry none. Don't you fret none. Yeah. Take joy in your heart to know that God is there for you. Yeah. All right, I gotta go. Okay. I'll see you when I see you when I come back. On the 4th, I'll be back on the 4th of October, and for a month and a half, I'll probably be with you guys, unless I take a short trip to, I don't know. But in most cases, I'll be around, and yeah, and I'll probably have another live stream somewhere in the middle of October if I can. You guys take care of yourself. God bless y'all, and don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Buy new guitars. Bye.